Welcome back to Norrath. Last time we did some work all over the city, but today we are in East Freeport because there are some things I want to focus in on today. And the first thing you will notice is that I have extended the road pattern to cover the docks here. To give it a bit more pattern, it was just bare cobblestone before that, but we needed to do something to spruce it up a little. I have also added the street lights along here, as well as some trees along the waterfront. One of the things I want to get ready for the next download is I want to finish the buildings that are going to be on the waterfront here. There's about 5 of them over here. These are going to be, as I've said, warehouses for goods that are unloaded from the ships that are going to be at the docks. And in between episodes, I have done a little work here. Started to put in the shell of one of the larger buildings we're going to have, as well as I lowered the pitch of the roof over here of these little pavilions. They looked a little top heavy, to be honest, with how the roof was before. I've also added a pinnacle on top of the necromancer tower over here in the distance. And I've erected an obelisk that we found in the sands of the Desert of Roe. We hauled that back to the city and put it on a plinth there. But we are not going to be going over there today because we are in East Freeport at the docks because we have some ships to look at. Now, these ships, I did not build these. These are very good ships that I found on Planet Minecraft. I was looking around for a little inspiration to see what people had done for medieval ships. There are a lot of ships from the 16 and 1700s onwards, but as far as medieval ships, there weren't all that many good ones that I found till I ran across this shipbuilding pack that someone made years ago. I will link that in the description below if you want to go check this out for yourself. And I recognized in these that they are not only really good, they also have some key features that we're going to need for our own ships. And what I plan to do with these is take these, and I think these were made like 5 or 6 years ago, which means we can update them a little and change them and suit them to our own needs. One of the things I really liked on these is they have little anchors that were hanging down from the bow here. I thought that was really cool. But as far as overall shape of medieval ships, these are really good. I've already showed you Viking ships that I liked in a previous episode, and we're going to build our own versions of those. But I think we're going to take these and probably heavily modify them to suit our own needs. Because one of the things about these that I don't like is there's really nothing on the decks here. They're very plain, and I think we can do something about that. Also, glass was used for what must be the rigging and the ropes. I'm not sure if that makes a good effect or not. I mean, it'll look really good on a ghost ship, but I don't know about this one. I might replace those with fences or something else. However, that's going to be enough of these ships today. We'll be seeing more of these in future episodes. I'll probably take them one by one and start modifying them. But what I want to focus in on today is going to be this thing floating in the sky over here. Because while I was looking for ships, I found an air balloon that I really liked. And it's this one here. It came in a couple of colors, but I'm pretty sure the design is all the same between them. It has that nice medieval characteristic about it, and there are some things that I like. First of all, what's good about this is it has a nice asymmetry with how the lanterns are hanging down here on the side. And it has a nice little basket here for us to sit in. And another thing we can do is actually light the fire here to give us the hot air. Because since this is wood and wool, and it's burning netherrack, this would all go up in a heaping pile of flames if I didn't have fire tick turned off. And another thing I like about it is the banding that it's got holding the balloon in here. I don't like some of the details though, which is why we have this over here. because today we're going to build our own version of this balloon, except bigger and suited to my own taste. So we will be taking this as some inspiration for what we want to do. And the first thing we're going to start is by taking the balloon and extending it down a little. There we go, that looks better. I have spent a couple of minutes doing the details here. We just took the lower layer of the balloon and kind of stretched it down a little to the shape we want. And with that done, I think the next thing we want to do is add the banding around the balloon. And we will just edge that out in a little spruce here to see how it's going to look. We'll do it straight around the circumference. And we will want to do the same thing this way. And we have the top part done. We will want to extend this down to the bottom. Down here, we will want to do something you didn't do over there, which is to add another little band around here. Let's try it at this level and see how it's going to look. Yeah, that didn't look too bad. I actually think what I want to do is a double band around here, because we are going to have the rigging holding up our basket hanging from here. And for our basket rigging, we're of course going to want to use fences. I used oak fences. That doesn't look too bad, actually. So we will use some oak fences to complement our spruce. And let's try and hang it down here. And so down here, we want to have our netherrack, which will give us the hot air source for the balloon. I think also up here we can get a rare time that iron bars are actually worth using. I think what I want to do here is actually construct another ring here, which will hold up our basket. I think we will have the basket come down to be supported this way by 4 of those on either side. Well, I've spent about an hour doing the fine detail work, so I'm ready to show you that here. We will start off at the basket that I have finished. We have a little stone here to weight it down, as well as some detailed tripwire hooks I've added. And if we climb into the basket, there's going to be a button down here. It doesn't do anything yet, but I'm going to have 2 of these balloons around the city, and they will teleport between each other. And in that way, the balloons can be semi-functional. Speaking of functional, I've added in some meaningless pistons here that do things if you want to pretend that you're turning valves to increase or decrease your altitude by altering the amount of hot air that's being produced up here. And of course, it wouldn't be one of my builds if I didn't work in at least a couple of bits of bedrock. Moving up the balloon, we have the attachment points for the lanterns around here. Here's one of the lanterns that I built. I've just taken the lantern that was over here, except I have added some tripwire hooks on the sides here to make it a little bit more ornamented. And I've done that as well, adding more fences to act as ropes, and various buttons here to act as iron staples holding everything together. And to increase the amount of detail, I've added an additional band here, a diagonal band that will hold the balloon in place. There wasn't one on this one, but with the larger size balloon, I thought it would look good, so I added it. Another thing we might think about doing is changing every other panel here of the wool to be a different color. Like, for instance, we could make this section white and keep that one blue. And when we mirrored and copied and pasted around the other 3 sides, we would have a little pattern, which is the very next thing we will be doing in MC Edit. All right, so we're here in MC Edit. We're going to take a copy of the quarter we built, mirror it, move it into position, and paste it in. And now we're going to select the other half of it and do the same thing for the other side. There we go. We have the entire balloon constructed now. The next thing we want to do is vary the height of these lanterns. We want to have them all at, so I think we will nudge this one upwards a little bit. We will extend this one downwards. We will also extend this one down as well, but not quite as far down. And we also want to change the height of the interior lanterns here. We've got 8 total. So let's see. Let's have this one over here be the long one. Here be a shorter one. This one as well. And make this one slightly longer by, I think, 1 block. So there we have it. All the lanterns are now varied in height, as this one was over here, which I quite like that about this balloon. And another thing we can do is change the color of the wool in here. Let's take a copy of the balloon to do that with. So we'll come out here over the ocean and make a copy, and we will now change out the wool colors. And we will do that 1 block at a time with this little brush here. There we go, that looks nice. Now that we have that switched out, we can take a copy of this quarter and copy and paste it around. And there we have it. Our hot air balloon is complete. Do let me know what you think about it in the comments. I'm going to be putting it up for download today, so if you want a copy for yourself, the link will be in the video description. And I've done this so that if you ever see something someone else has built like this that you like, but you want to make your own version of it, it's pretty easy to do so. You can just take the pattern that they've done and recombine it into your own style. And this is actually the first hot air balloon I've ever built in Minecraft, but it's come out really well, I think. I'm quite pleased with this. I think one of the next projects we'll have to tackle, well, whenever we build another balloon, we definitely have to do a Zeppelin. A medieval Zeppelin. I think that would look pretty good. But I think that will be after we have fiddled with the ships down there, and probably quite a few episodes in the future is when we will do that. However, with the ships down there, we're going to be doing something very similar to what we did with the balloon, except we're going to take the ship itself and edit and embellish and add our own special touches to it. I've also added a second balloon over here in the city. I have put a command block for a teleport in the bottom of these, but I haven't set the coordinates yet, because one of the things I think we are going to want to do is possibly set up a relay system between these balloons where you can take a journey on it. I'm not sure to what zone it would go to. Probably across the land somewhere, I think. But I'm envisioning what we can do is to have a button you can press in the bottom, and it will relay you on to the next balloon and the one after that and the one after that and so on and so forth until you reach your destination. I think that would be a pretty cool way to travel that we can use with command blocks. But that's going to be all the time we have for today. I hope you have enjoyed today's atmospheric adventure. where we have journeyed to the stratospheric heights because I have placed these balloons at build limit, by the way, so they can't go up any higher than this. But next time we will be working on either a ship or a building or just whatever I'm inspired to build. And I will see you next time.